Hello and welcome.
Good evening.
My name is Alex and it's time to take a look at the Gameweek 30. I, for one, decided to play an early wild card. Team is looking slightly differential actually, in fact, because I have a Langa dealer in my points and he is my highest scoring player. And I had a few players, of course, who picked up an injury or who were injury doubts before the Gameweek 30 started, and one of them was Alisson. I would expect Alisson to recover and play. That would have been a clean sheet, but it's good that I had Concise, and I noticed that Wolves have a nice run of fixtures, and it ends with Ipswich, I think, where I can play their defenders. Obviously, Ait Nouri was supposed to be benched, because I expected West Ham to score, and especially after they conceded to Southampton, although it was an away game. I just didn't want to bench any of these players, and Aina was ahead of other players in the pecking order for me, ahead of Ait Nouri. Simply because he is just playing against Man United. I couldn't imagine Man United scoring a goal against Wolves because neither Liverpool nor Arsenal managed to do so. So why would Manchester United all of a sudden score a goal? They accumulated a lot of Gs. They had a chance at the end. But I think I always looked at this game with the understanding that either Nottingham Forest are going to be winning or drawing. At least it's going to be a 0-0 draw, given that Chris Wood is not playing and he's on paper is their main firepower. But they have so many good midfielders. And even though Hudson-Odoi wasn't on the pitch, Elanga delivered, and it was a crazy goal as well from him. He got the bonus points for me too. But Aina is just unfortunate injury. I think he injured himself. He wasn't really, it wasn't like an impact injury or whatnot. And it feels like he's going to be out for at least 2 game weeks. Nuno Espirito Santo said that he's not playing next game for sure. And for Everton, he's going to get assessed. And that's a shame. I will probably keep him, but he has a blank after that. So, I don't know, it's injury doubts, like Aina can easily become Saliba, for instance, because Saliba, that's my transfer plan, so I'm switching to that. And then, of course, Kluivert can easily become either Saka or Murphy, or maybe Gordon if you have any news. That's why I'm not rushing to the transfers, and I cannot really tell you what exactly I'm going to be doing, because my transfer will occur 10-15 minutes before the deadline if you get some news that Gordon is, for instance, fit to start, or is predicted to start against Leicester, or maybe some other transfer, other early lineups will appear. My transfer decision will be made then. I just think that I'm not going to be making a defensive transfer. So Marmoush, of course, in hindsight, would be nice to captain him. But I was afraid of Salah because they had so much rest. Yeah, it feels like this is where I need to capitalize. I need to gain rank. And in case if you watch my rank and see, oh no, I should turn off this video now because he doesn't know what he's talking about. Guys, chill. I still have my assistant manager to play. I can get 240,000 rank, not 250. It can get better. But yeah, realistically, hopefully my assistant manager yields me some nice points, and I'm gonna be playing my assistant manager as well next game week, most likely. Again, look, it depends on my transfers, and if the transfers are aligning, the idea is probably, so this is gonna be how my team is looking. No transfers have been made yet, but if we get some early news, this is again, we are referring to Ben Crellin's planner, and he has some obviously estimation on how much, what are the odds of us getting this double in 36. It's very likely that we're going to be getting more teams to double, of course, and it's just the question of which ones. The idea is now to get assistant manager Eddie Howe for Leicester. Then we're getting a double for Manchester United and Crystal Palace, both home games for Newcastle. Both are winnable games as well. Not necessarily a table bonus, but maybe a cheeky 20 points. I wouldn't mind that at all, personally. And then we have Arsenal also. It's a safe bet. You don't get a safety bonus. I'm just a little bit scared of going for Glasner, because you see Crystal Palace are doubling, but they have Man City and Newcastle, and they play both games away. And you can try to gamble, and at the end you just can end up with 0 points, just because they will lose both games. And I watched FPL Harry video because it wasn't my choice, but FPL Harry delayed his assistant manager by choice. I just slept through a deadline, unfortunately, and I forgot to activate assistant manager chip. That would have been nice, because I would have had Moyes and then probably switch to Arteta. So maybe not even Arteta, probably it would have been Unai Emery. And I would have had at least 40-50 points on top of my rank, and that would be 100,000 rank at this point. It would be very, very respectable. But now I need to improvise, and I think it's going to be double Newcastle. And what I liked about FPL Harris video, that he mentioned that he needs to sell his Newcastle assets, and when he has triple Newcastle as players, they are they are not necessarily needed for the game after Ipswich. Obviously, you can try and experiment, maybe Pep as well. Pep plays Everton, Villa at home. You can try also, like, I don't know about the bonus, so it will depend on the results of these teams. So bonus for Unai Emery can be also an interesting idea. Here, with this strategy, by picking up Howe and then Pep, or Howe and then Arteta, you're only using one transfer. So I think it's also guaranteed 5 games for you as well. So it's Leicester, United, Crystal Palace, plus maybe Arsenal's Ipswich, Crystal Palace. Or it's Leicester, United, Crystal Palace, plus Pep's Everton and Villa at home. So, I mean, you can even go for Glasner and not change anything, but I just don't see them picking up results. Like that game against Southampton, I don't understand that. Either they're not really motivated, like they don't understand the purpose of like grinding for points and trying to get in like European Cup places, or I don't know, or they just a little bit tired of the cup games. I don't know, it's just fatigue. But then again, at the same time, if that's a fatigue, then this double game mix is not gonna be, it's not looking good, I think. I watch Newcastle play, and I feel like they can win both games. I can feel like, obviously, famous last words, jinxed, but I feel like they can beat Manchester United and Crystal Palace. Yeah, so that will be probably assistant manager active, and that will be probably a transfer of Kluivert to either Saka or Murphy or Gordon. I don't need to make a defensive transfer for one, like Munoz is alright against Brighton, and in fact I can captain Mateta or even captain Munoz. Like if Brighton didn't score a single goal against Villa, who are not really known for keeping clean sheets, at home, they are now traveling to Crystal Palace, who are not like really conceding many goals. They conceded to Villa only once, and they've beaten Villa themselves. So that's like 3 triangle of teams where Crystal Palace somehow ends up the superior team. I can equally like try and captain Munoz, like a crazy differential, because I feel like Salah against Fulham, yes, he can deliver points, it's a trustworthy asset, and it's time for him to deliver because he blanked, he didn't play. Like, I was surprised as well, by the way, by the performance of Liverpool. They had so much time to rest, and that's what they played a very inspiring performance from them as well. Van Dijk as well was spun a few times by Beta. That was very shaky, but at the same time, I had a Liverpool asset, I expected a clean sheet, unfortunately he didn't start. Many people had Konate, congrats to you, and obviously Trent is quote-unquote injured, but he is not playing for Liverpool anymore, because he's a Real Madrid player. And my prediction as well, from long time ago, if you remember, when we made these videos for in the Gameweek 15, for instance, and I was adamant that I don't need Trent in my team, and I just went with the herd, and my herd mentality won. As you can see, I had Hall as well, like I had some differentials, Sobozai too, but I just decided to, you know what, I need to get Trent, and look what Trent did for me, 0 points over here. Then next game week, 2 points, and like he didn't want to play for the team, and it showed like his performance, defensive performance was mediocre. And that's a deflected goal, and he finally got 11 points, double-digit Hall only once, and he was getting like an odd clean sheet with a yellow card. Or a mobile like assist, another clean sheet. Like, it's nice, returns are there, but it doesn't mean that he is just irreplaceable and must have. Okay, maybe certain points. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit, yeah, maybe, look, 6-pointer as well on the bench, crazy man. Maybe I'm a little bit exaggerating. Liverpool as defensive unit, they were really decent, with or without Trent, that's what I'm trying to say. So having someone from Liverpool, even though like there are so many doublers and people think that they need to get Crystal Palace players, they need to double up on, I don't know, Manchester City players. Like for the latter, it's benching decisions, who is going to be playing. For the former, it just the fixtures are so difficult for Crystal Palace that I wouldn't necessarily want to double up on their defensive assets here. Like, yes, they will get appearance points, but that's 4, and you can easily get that with Saliba, for instance, who is playing. Whom Arsenal are playing? They're playing Everton, and then they're playing Brentford, I think, and then there's double for them. So yeah, this is where Arsenal are playing. Yeah, Everton, Brentford at home. So if you have Saliba playing Brentford, you can expect a clean sheet here. Whereas Crystal Palace, it could be just 2 appearance points for your Munoz, or maybe Henderson, maybe like 1 occasional save. So it could be 5 points. And are you really ripping your team apart now, just for getting like that chance on someone like returning maybe in one of the 2 games? Yeah, so that's my team, and hopefully your team performed well. This is not looking good. I mean, everyone is on a wild card. Everyone has slightly better team than mine. I have some injury doubts. Isak, I hope he plays. Isak is realistically could be my captain, but Munoz could be my vice captain. So I think that's how we'll roll. Because Isak against Leicester. Leicester look very, very poor against Man City. I think Isak is just clinical, and that's his season. Yeah, if not for all the injury nibbles for Isak, I think he would have had a very, very strong season. And he has already like been delivering crazy player, man. And it looks like it's gonna be difficult for Newcastle to keep hold of him in the next season. Yeah, so Isak could be my captain then. Munoz vice captain. I feel like clean sheet is kind of locked because that Newcastle Brighton team, they look in like they are lost a little bit in 6s and 7s, and not scoring a single goal against Aston Villa. I don't know about that, man. They just played in the cup. They pretty much feel the same 11, and they just smashed Brighton. Although Brighton played as well in the cup. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. It feels like Crystal Palace can keep a clean at home. And that's the video. I hope you enjoyed this one. And hope you score a lot of points. Deadline is tomorrow. I'll see you next time. Peace.